last year. You didn't feel a lump?
No, it was so tiny.
State Representative Melissa Provenzano says a routine mammogram in November saved her life. She's fighting breast cancer right now, and she's fighting to get legislation passed to make sure Oklahoma women aren't skipping any life-saving tests. It's on her mind.
I can sit in any room with 7 other women and go, okay, I'm the one at least.
Less than 2 months ago, on January 14th, 52-year-old Oklahoma State Representative Melissa Provenzano underwent a mastectomy for stage 1 HER2-positive breast cancer.
Luckily, the prognosis is good because I caught it so early. Mine was less than a centimeter.
She tells me since her mother's breast cancer diagnosis 10 years ago, she doesn't skip mammograms.
I usually get them in September, October, but I pushed it back to the very beginning of November because of campaign season.
Her mother was in the clear for a decade. Then, at 72, breast cancer came back. In November, her mom had a mastectomy.
Then I got my mammogram, and then they're like, well, we need you to come in. She had her surgery in November, and then in December, I was diagnosed. And I'm like, are you kidding? By December 11th, I had been diagnosed with a different type of breast cancer than my mother.
In 2022, Provenzano's legislation, House Bill 3504, forced health insurance companies to cover follow-up tests like MRIs and ultrasounds once a mammogram spots an abnormality.
Such common sense things that you don't think about until you're in it. It looks so different now. I'm like, oh, I understand exactly why this is such a deal.
Before Provenzano fought to get those diagnostic tests covered, women were being forced to make tough choices.
I had a woman reach out to me and say, the price is, depending on your insurance, anywhere between $400 and $1,200, and I have to put food on the table. I'm a single mom, and what are we doing?
When the governor signed House Bill 3504, Oklahoma became the 10th state to pass legislation requiring insurance to cover further tests when a mammogram shows an abnormality.
I can't tell you how many women have reached out to me to say, either thank you, because wow, I actually got a check back, when the first year it passed, because I'd already paid for it and my insurance company refunded me the money. The Komen Foundation actually came out and said it's actually saving millions of dollars, across the state for women.
Now 27 other states have similar laws, and while she's fighting breast cancer, Provenzano's also fighting to pass House Bill 1389, which clarifies the language about exactly which tests health insurance must pay for.
Depending on where you live in the state of Oklahoma, the machine available to you might be different. And so we want to capture all of those things under that umbrella. This leaves the decision as to what you need best between you and your doctor.
She tells me her oncologist is working around her crazy schedule at the Capitol. On Fridays, she's back in Tulsa, and that's when she goes for chemotherapy. She tested negative for the BRCA gene that her mother carries. Her sister plans to get tested just weeks before her own diagnosis. 1 week before their mother's mastectomy, she and her sister got these matching tattoos.
We got this in honor of my mother.
She says she doesn't know anyone who hasn't had a friend or loved one fight breast cancer. It crosses party lines.
Republicans, Democrats, just kind of gathering around you and offering support, and what is it that we need and how can we support you.
At last month's Pink Stiletto Gala, the Susan G. Komen Foundation named Provenzano the 2025 Woman of Inspiration, an honor that's very special. But she's not doing this work for accolades.
This one thing can save a life. I can save one life. I feel pretty lucky.
We'll keep tabs on it and let you know if it reaches the governor's desk. Representative Provenzano's bill covers diagnostic mammograms and other tests, which means if you find a lump and your doctor orders the test, health insurance must pay for it with no out-of-pocket cost to you unless you have a high deductible plan. Right now in Oklahoma, health insurance covers annual screening mammograms for women 40 and older or 35 if you have a family history. Monday, House lawmakers unanimously passed House Bill 1389. They dressed in pink to support Representative Provenzano and gave her a standing ovation. Her bill is now headed to the Senate. What's on your mind? Email onhermind@fox23.com.